Hey everyone, we're Group 9, and the topic that we chose is based off of an article we found on Inc.com, written by Partners in Leadership. The title of the article is What is the Difference Between Managers and Leaders? There's a big difference because, at all of our jobs, I think we know your general store manager would give you a direction, expect it to be done, while your supervisor would give you direction, tell you how they want it done, show you how they want it done, give you a more sense of direction. Uh, that brings to the first quote in the article I can mention. It's quote, a staggering 71% of companies do not feel their leaders are sufficiently prepared to lead them into the future. Uh, that makes us need to consider how people are retiring every day. We have a new workforce coming in, millennials, new people. So there's going to be a change in leadership. There's going to be a change in managers, a sense of direction. Um, Yeah, and which brings into a second point on another article. That's on Forbes.com. The title of that article is Seven Ways Millennials Are Changing Traditional Leadership, written by Kimberly Fries. First quote is according to a survey conducted by Virtuali and Workplace Trends, 91% of respondents expressed a desire to lead. Nearly 50% of them also said that they believe leadership is the empowerment of others. So it brings the point it's companies expect you to be there for them, that you're there to make them a profit to help their company flow, and it's becoming how employees believe kind of an equal thing. They want to be heard. They want the company to be there for them. Um, it's so with it being the article being 7 ways millennials are changing traditional leadership. The first point showed how millennials are showing a willingness to leave jobs when leadership doesn't meet their standards. So there's an increase in overturn rates in jobs because there's a whole new sense of direction in management. That brings us to a point: importance in using statistics in your management, because not only can you rely on your sales, your credit cards, what the market is looking like in your stocks, but you have to use statistics. Okay, how what ticks my employees off and what makes them happy, what makes them productive. um I'm gonna have my other teammate, Aaron. She's gonna get more into depth with the statistics standpoint and managerial decision making.
In addition to our original article and our article from Forbes, we have a small business article by John T. Williams that discusses statistics in decision making to improve one's management skills. So, John T. Williams really has some interesting points when he discusses how statistics can be used in decision making to improve these skills. His first point deals with steering the direction of a firm. He relays the easier way to do this is to view the organization as a whole rather than studying each employee and deciding where to take the firm. It's proven to be easier is to view your organization from a broad perspective and then decide how to steer the company rather than individually looking at each employee and deciding what to do. His second point that we really find important deals with providing evidence to substantiate positions. So, what this is talking about is providing input to your employees as a manager, telling them what to do. We've all received directions from managers before that aren't very clear, and then you're not exactly sure where to move forward. You face uncertainty in your job, and you're not sure what to do. He speaks of how a manager should provide input to their employees. They should use evidence and statistics in doing so. In our original article, we found optimizing operations and hitting benchmarks to be an effective way to keep an employee on a clear path. Take, for example, a 4-star military general. He worked very hard to create disciplined troops. However, he failed to take the time to share a clear long-term vision with them. Because he failed to take the time to do that, and it was pretty important, he experienced a high turnover rate among his troops. So clearly, he was an effective manager, but he failed to be an inspiring leader. And in my own life, I have seen this to be true because I've led people before, both in paid and in volunteering positions. And if you fail to show people a bigger purpose to what they're doing, the main idea, the point behind it, you just don't get them involved. They'll do what they need to do if you're right there watching them and placing pressure on them, and they get it done, but there's no enthusiasm isn't in it, and you just lack that unity among your group that you need. So now I will hand this off to my groupmate Jenny, who will discuss some important motivation tips in management.
Hi guys, my name is Jenny and I will be sharing how an effective leader motivates his team. We did some research and found a supporting article from Forbes written by Victor Lipman, who has, quote, nearly a quarter century of Fortune 500 management experience. He suggests that the best managers recognize the power of value in getting to understand their employees. Partners in Leadership believes that one of the key distinctions between a manager and a leader is that a manager builds systems and processes, while a leader also makes it a point to build relationships. If each employee is understood to some degree, it becomes much easier to work as a team, so everyone is working toward a common goal. It is important to note that Lippmann finds that motivation is highly personal and constantly evolving, so as we grow and change, so do our motivations. While you may have a period in time where a job itself is motivation enough, sometimes an employee may be more motivated by pay or by flexibility of the job. Later down the road, given personal commitments such as having to tend to one's family. In one case, an employee was highly motivated at the thought of having their own office, and this had nothing to do with social status, but rather just the need for silence to properly concentrate. Victor also mentions to keep in mind collective ways to keep it interesting. Instead of just offering donuts on Friday or just a quarterly bonus, you can do fun and more frequent things that are personalized to your employees once you get to know them. So he mentions how he worked at a distribution company where mistakes were often made loading up the truck. So his boss decided to implement a contest, and whoever went the whole week without any mistakes got a free case of beer. So mistakes went down and motivation went up. It can be something as simple as that makes all the difference. So as you can see, the desire to see eye to eye with employees and their motivation and what makes them comfortable enough to thrive in the workplace is of utmost importance. And last but not least, we have our partner Maria.
Hi guys, my name is Maria. So after all of the information we have provided, we can see the importance that has getting to know employees and working with them as a leader, rather than just telling them what to do as a manager, because by doing so, we can make a barrier with them. No confidence and trust is going to be built. As a leader, we need to let people know that you care about them and their progress. I want to end on the last point that is shown in our original core article, which is the effective leadership, uniting people around a shared vision. We have been over how people need to be understood and have a shared ultimate business vision, but it goes much further than just that. This article not only mentions the importance of understanding what employees want, but also what they don't like. And as a managers, we need to find out what is causing employees not to perform well, or in some cases, to even quit the job, so we can prevent this action. One of the biggest factors of how managers become great leaders is to identify areas in which you can spend more time with people face to face and seize those opportunities to build trust in relationship with direct reports. A sense of trust and almost friendships needs to be built in management today. People want to feel appreciated and understood, and that is what brings out the pure difference between a manager and a leader. Point number 4 in our article points out that a good manager can become a great leader knowing the importance of not relying on how it always has been done and more so rely on deep innovation in the employees at hand, which makes a big difference in management. Leadership is one of the most important functions of management. Leading involves directing, influencing, and motivating employees to perform well. And of course, we know not all of us possess the leadership skills, but we can work to gain them. Some tips that I can tell you will help you on this are preparation, which is the key to success. When you don't possess the skill and knowledge or tools to succeed, seek these skills. The more you practice, the better you become. Also, learn to listen and communicate effectively. You should express sincere care and concern for the members of your group, both verbally and non-verbally. And don't forget to self-reflect. Assess your development and ask others for feedback on your leadership skills so you can make progress.